Mega Moms. Jessica Hensley here with Real Estate Mega Moms, where we help moms create a life and a business that they love. And today I'm joined by my partner, Stephanie Stockberger, and we are going to be talking about how you can dig yourself out of burnout. So hopefully you're not feeling burned out. We're at the beginning of a new year, beginning of the busy season. The spring and the summer market typically are the best times of the year to be selling real estate. So we're getting close to that. We're not quite there, but getting closer. It's on the horizon. And the activity you do today will determine how busy you are during those times. So it's really important that you're doing what you need to be doing today. But if you are feeling burned out, we want to talk to you about that. We've been there, and these are the things that have helped us. So Steph, what are some ways that you have dug yourself out of that burnout?
Oh, definitely. Well, I think you and I have both been in the field long enough, excuse me, that we felt burnout before in the industry, well, in life, both. But it just kind of comes and goes. And I think right now people might be feeling burnout from, the holidays just kind of, came up and went. And also I think a lot of agents, they're working really hard and maybe not seeing all the results that we want to. And so we're working really, really hard, and maybe the numbers aren't landing like we hoped. So maybe there's just some frustration and some burnout. So, and just looking for some hope. So, some of the things that I've done and continue to do when I get burnt out is just kind of reevaluate. And I was telling you before we got on, is the thing that really inspires me is just to think about that the younger girl that first got into real estate, 18 years ago. I was so excited. I remember my white briefcase and my little files, and I was just so excited. So I tried to just kind of close my eyes and just remember that why I got into real estate, how excited I was to serve, and just kind of get that giddiness back in me, just so I can remember, just the excitement, like why I got into it. And, things change. The reason why you stay in it probably changes, but just to kind of light that fire again. So that always helps me to start with. And then I just start kind of running through a list, which we'll talk about a lot of these things today, but just kind of going back to that excitement. Just like, remember when you, for those of you that are married or in a relationship, kind of like that fire at the beginning, like that first time that you saw your person, or that first date that you went on, or the first when you got engaged, just that passion at the very beginning. So I try to remember the beginning, like that first summer when I was selling, the first time I signed my first client or my first listing. So I try to remember that kind of helps.
Yeah. Well, I think some ways to remember that is to maybe be re-inspired. So for me, one of the ways that I will dig myself out of burnout and try to get myself out of that mindset is to listen to podcasts like this one, go to masterminds, maybe enroll in a course, look for ways to just give myself new and fresh ideas on how to do my job, to do it better, to maybe scale it in a different way. And so I think really what you feed yourself, our mindset, our attitude, it's all a choice. And really everything that happens in life begins with your mind. So if you wake up and you're like, man, today is going to be a bad day, then chances are that's how your day is going to go, right? But if you wake up and you're like, okay, it's a good day, I'm grateful for this. This is something you're going to mention in a minute, but starting your day with affirmations and with, being grateful. And maybe then you're doing intentional things that you may not feel like doing in the moment, but if you do it, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel proud of yourself that you stuck to a commitment. You're going to feel good because it's good for your body. Like, for example, I just hired a personal trainer, and today is really the first day of the diet portion. And so I will be doing the exercise portion. I need to get a couple items. And I have done personal training before. I've done exercise before consistently, and I never want to do it. I never start out wanting to, lift the weights or go on that hike or whatever it is that we're doing. But when I get done, I always feel so good and so proud of myself, right? So it could just be, all right, I'm making a commitment to wake up, be grateful, do the things that I know are going to make me feel good, like exercising and eating something good. And for me, starting my day out in prayer, meditation, reading God's word, that does set the tone for the rest of the day. And I'm reading right now the Bible recap, Stephanie, and every day she covers things in what we read, whatever the assigned reading was, that I didn't catch, that I didn't pick up on it because she's maybe thinking about the history or the location or, something that I just didn't catch in the passage. But every day she's showing me something like just about God, revealing God to me. And it just, I don't know, it's so inspiring, and it really helps me to have a good day, or at least the start of a good day.
I love that, Jess. I was down in Kansas visiting you, and I really love that you started your day like that. That is inspiring. I had mentioned to you a few times that I had a coach. This has been years ago, but they had me start off my day by setting an alarm before I did anything else in the day, before picking up your phone or anything else, by setting my alarm for 5 minutes and writing down what I'm grateful for. And so what I do is I set my alarm, and I've actually kind of got away from this, and I'm really glad that I'm saying this again so I can remind myself to do this. But the way that I would do it is set the alarm, and then on my notepad, I would write down, I am grateful for this because it makes me feel this, and that is good for this. So, and then I could take pictures of what I'm grateful for, and it would just be this like running log. And it's not just like I'm grateful for my family or those kind of things. She would tell me to be grateful for just like the little things. Like, so you could say, like, I'm grateful for like this glass because it does keep my water so cold, and the ice will like make it overnight. Like, so like the little things, like, there's a frog outside or whatever, and it was like it entertained me for like 5 minutes, just like the simplest things, right? So it starts off your day with just such a gratitude, and you really just have to, for 5 minutes, you're saying what you're grateful for. So before you even get out of bed, like you're grateful for. And the thing is that how can you be sad or mad or any of those things if you're grateful? It's really hard to be both, right? So
Yeah.
that is awesome. So that's kind of a way for if you're burnt out. And believe me, even in the worst burnouts in this industry or in life, and if, by the way, if counseling, your doctors, those kind of things, if it's more than burnout, please talk to someone. I've been there as well. Please talk to someone. But if it's burnout with your job, I would say, getting just kind of mentally getting to that place where you can be grateful again for your position that you're in your job. Sometimes you just don't want anything to do with any more consumption of real estate or any more consumption of business. And I know, Jess, you had mentioned podcasts and those kind of things. I have been in the position or in a burnout before where I just couldn't consume anything more to do with real estate. So sometimes being grateful for things outside of real estate really did help me. Or even just focusing on like, I'm not artsy. My daughter and my, that one side of my family is kind of artsy, but so I would do like stamping. I sought out stamping, doing something different like that, like to get a focus of my brain on something different, just to get something else going in my life. And maybe just getting that break really kind of helped me. And then all of a sudden, real estate became interesting to me again. It's just kind of like God's wonder. Like all of a sudden, it's like introduced back, and all of a sudden, woo, there I am. I was interested again. I mean, I don't know, but
And I don't know if you've experienced this too. Like once you change your mindset, you're sort of attracting what you're wanting, the business. At least that's how a lot of times things will happen for me is I'll get an unexpected phone call or message or somebody, dropping in. And I'm not saying you should just say, oh, I'm grateful. Now business is going to come my way. Obviously there's a lot of other things that have been done in my life and my business that pay off. But it's just interesting to me. And I kind of view it as, thank you, God. I just see him working in my life in so many different ways. But I was just going to share, I think the key is becoming aware of what's going on, understanding, all right, I'm burned out. I'm not just, frustrated or having a bad day. Like, here is a pattern. Here's a mindset that I'm slipping into. And so understanding that first, and then once you recognize it, then you take steps to disrupt your psychology, to disrupt your body. So here's a couple ideas that you could do to just kind of snap yourself out of just like a quick fix. And obviously this is, you need to do things daily, but these are just some quick things you could try today. So if you're feeling tired, you could take a 15-minute nap. And I know not everybody is a power napper. I am. If I set an alarm, I can sleep, and I often feel like just ready to go and refresh, especially in the afternoon. So this is just very simple, right? Something as little as you're tired, take a 15-minute nap. If you're sad, listen to music. Now, don't listen to country, my dog died and my truck broke down, nothing like that. But listen, I like praise and worship music, things that is going to just be uplifting, or maybe like something that's like, girl power, something like that. If you're feeling stressed, slow down, like make yourself physically slow down, maybe breathe slowly, do some breathing exercises, to just kind of recenter yourself, reground yourself. If you're feeling angry and frustrated, maybe do something like exercise and do some jumping jacks or push-ups, or something where you can get some of your aggression out. If you're overthinking it and you just have like this negative self-talk, sit down, get a piece of paper, and write down your thoughts. So a lot of times, and I do this a lot, I just have to get it out. What am I thinking? What am I worried about? What's the worst thing that could happen? And a lot of times if I play that out, the worst case scenario, it's like, am I going to die, right, from that worst case scenario? Or a lot of times I realize even the worst case scenario in this situation isn't that bad. So write down your thoughts. And if you're feeling anxious, you could always pray, meditate. Something else that helps me is making a list of what I want to accomplish. I actually did that this morning. I was telling you, Steph, last night I didn't have a great night. I was just feeling frustrated. There's probably like some cycle things going too that just made me extra anxious and annoyed. And so this morning I didn't get the full night's sleep that I wanted. I didn't end my day yesterday great with like eating. And today's the first day of my new diet. So I knew I had to like start over today. So this morning I read my Bible. I did eat right the way I was supposed to. I haven't exercised yet, but I think I said that already. I read my Bible, but after I read my Bible and prayed, I made a list. Okay, I know I'm following my calendar, but there's the free time. What do I want to accomplish today? What can I do that's going to make me proud of myself and make me feel like I've done everything I can do today to win my day, to be the best mom, wife, realtor, boss, coach, to be the best version of me that I could be. And so I made my list and I'm like, okay. And so I just started going through the list and started doing the things on the list. And it's amazing. I mean, it just changes your mentality and makes you feel hopeful again and makes you, at least for me anyway, it makes it where you can get through the day.
Yeah, and I would say too is just being around other people and being able to talk to other people, whether it be, networking, like a group of networking people, your colleagues, good friends, your upline, whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of us that have gone through this, whether it's burnout through the industry or whether it's just burnout in life in general. I would say just talk to other people about it and make sure that you have friends that you can talk to. It's just really important. I know Jess and I have each other, and that is super nice. I mean, we can call up each other anytime and just say, like, wow, like one day could be like, what are we doing? Like, why are what is this industry? But you need people like that because we're going to be able to lift each other up and just make sure that you have those people.
Yeah. And I do like the whole little wins thing, you may not get that big sale today, you may not sign the big listing, but if you're doing the activities that you need to be doing, you can get the small wins that will add up to the big wins in the long run. But you
That's
have to control those small wins. And something else, I don't think it was you. It was actually it was one of my husband's cousins. She was sharing with me, so she's selling insurance now. And at the beginning of her insurance journey, she was feeling discouraged because she was making these phone calls and she just wasn't converting as many people as she thought she should, but she wasn't tracking any of her data. And she shared with me, I started tracking and I actually saw how successful I was. Even though I didn't feel like it in the moment, I am actually, maybe ahead of the industry, ahead of my team, ahead of where I should be based on this tracking. And I identified with the tracking where I can improve and what I need to focus on. And I told her, oh my gosh, that's exactly what we teach our mega moms, because we have a whole, lead tracker, and we tell you you need to be tracking how many people you're attempting to reach, how many conversations you have, how many appointments you book. Even if you just track those three things, you'll know where your bottleneck is. So getting yourself out of burnout may be as simple as, I need to get organized. I need to start tracking what I'm doing to see what is actually working.
Yeah, I've realized a lot of the burnout for me is being disorganized. Really, like even at home, it's just like, isn't it wonderful to walk in and into a clean house, into an organized house, or to an organized office, or that like one night when you stayed really late at the office and got everything organized, isn't it wonderful the next day to walk in? It's just like, oh, I got so much done the night before. It's like wonderful. So for me, it's just like trying to find what the triggers are. Sometimes it's because I'm overwhelmed or overworked. Sometimes it's because I've been working, like way too much. Sometimes it's because there really hasn't been enough business. And it's like, what can I do to get more business for our team? I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but sometimes it's just like figuring out what is the trigger for it. And some of that is, for me, being disorganized, or messy, or walking into things just being chaos. So I think it's
Yeah.
important to know where it's coming from.
Yeah, our environment is so important. I think that probably for most people, they may not admit it, but I know, like you said, you just feel better whenever things are in order. And for me, even like aesthetically, like things look nice. And maybe that's just a woman thing, but I want things to be decorated in an order and, all of those things. Otherwise, it's hard to concentrate on anything else. It's hard to get a lot of work done. So,
Right.
well, moms, I hope that this gave you some things to think about. We hope you're not going through burnout, but if you've been in business for a while, chances are you're going to experience it if you haven't already. And we want to give you the tools so you don't just give up and, just throw in the towel and find another job, because real estate is such a rewarding profession. There's not a lot of other opportunities out there where you can make the money you can make in real estate and make the impact you can make on people's lives as well. So we love this career. Everything it provides to us besides income, it also provides flexibility for our families, and just it's a really good career and life. If you can learn to manage your emotions when things go wrong. It's because they do go wrong, right? One of my coaching students, I don't know if you're on the call or not, but it was last week, I think, and she kind of started tearing up, and she's like, I'm sorry I'm so emotional, but I had 3 deals under contract and all 3 of them canceled. And, talked to her this week, and she's under contract again on something else, which is great. But you're going to have days like that. And so being able to pull yourself through it is very important. All right. Well, we will see everyone in the next episode. Bye, moms.
Bye.